Well, hello and welcome to the June 1st Origin Spotlight. My name is John Stacy. I'm Executive Director of Gamma, and I'm here tonight to talk about a couple things. Firstly, about show hours, badge sales, and hotel sales, and then a couple of general questions we have. We thank you if you're watching us live on our Twitch stream. This will be replayed on our YouTube channel in a couple days. If you're watching live, please put your comments into the chat. Our brilliant technical team will then share the question with me, and then I can answer these questions to you as we're going through here live. So I want to start off with a couple things here. First of all, as a reminder that the show dates are September 30th through October 3rd here in Columbus, Ohio. This will be our 45th annual Origins. We're very excited about that. We are doing a hybrid show this year. You may have heard us said this in past shows. I know Paul and Kelly was on 2 weeks ago. They were talking about that a little bit. And we are going to have unique in-person as well as online content for the show. And so we will have the full schedule posted as we get closer. We are currently working with our tech partners to create the event submission system. That does go live this week on June 4th. If you are planning on would like to run an event or GM a game, please make sure you go to our website, originsgamefair.com, and sign up for as a GM or to get on our newsletter so you can get information from Paul. I know that he and Kelly have been working sending out newsletters to the GMs quite frequently to update them with what's going on, how you submit events, what schedule is going to look like, where we're going to be putting events. And so we're very excited about that. Another question we've been getting is about show hours, and I want to kind of talk about that before we get into the meat of tonight, which is the badge sales and hotel sales. The show does start at noon on Thursday, September 30th. Again, we're starting at noon. Somebody posted that Thursday is the new Wednesday. As you know, with the date change, we kind of compressed the schedule a little bit. We didn't get all the halls that we normally have when we normally get them. Usually we get halls on Monday. Now we're not getting to Wednesday because the other show's happening at the convention center the weekend before and a couple days before our show starts. And so we'll be doing an exhibitor move-in on Wednesday and Thursday, and the main exhibit hall will open on Friday morning at 10 a.m. Therefore, we're not opening up the events and activities until Thursday at noon. There'll be registration events and social activities on Thursday. It's a half day. And then we'll have a full day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do start, as I mentioned, the exhibit hall on Friday, October 1st at 10 a.m. The hall is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. as it normally is. And then on Saturday, it is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. again. And then on Sunday, October 3rd, the exhibit hall is open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. As of this morning, we had about 160 exhibitors signed up. We were shooting towards 200. We're on track for that, which is slightly less than we had last year, which is in 2019 when we had our show. And so we are hoping to have a similar exhibit hall experience. Yes, we know some of the larger companies are not coming. They're not doing the circuit this year. They're not coming to our show or a couple of the other shows. And that's understandable. This is a transition year with people getting more comfortable being out in the public, attending major shows again. And so a lot of them said they're definitely coming in June of 2022, which is only a few months away. I mean, we're a year out now to that show, which is funny because we were talking on our team, and between we have the October show, then we have our trade show in March, and then Origins again the following June. So in 9 months, we have 3 major shows, which is a lot of work. And I want to give our team props for doing that and pulling all 3 of the shows off. And we're excited about that, making the opportunity for you guys to attend and have a really good show, both October of this year and June of 2022, when we're back into our normal schedule. And so again, the official hours are we start Thursday, the October 30th at noon, running through 4 o'clock on Sunday, October the 3rd. For the online show, we'll follow the same schedule. There will be an online exhibit hall. We're very interested about how that's going to work. We're using the same software that the San Diego Comic-Con used for their virtual show, as does the Dragon Con this year, last year for their virtual show. And so we're very weighing in heavily on the hybrid show. We've invested in technology to have a live stream throughout the weekend. And so like you're doing here on Twitch, we'll be sharing that on Twitch as well. So you don't need to get a badge to watch the stuff online. We'll be streaming content from the convention center so you can see what's happening here in Columbus. And there'll be other unique events online as well. There'll be online games as well as in-person games this year. So it's going to be a really exciting year this fall. All right, so let's hop into the main topics, which are badges for this evening. And I know Adam has a graphic he's going to show the different kind of badge types that we're offering this year. And we're doing things a little differently this year. In the past, you were able to buy a full 5-day show badge. This year, we're doing slightly different, where we're actually doing day badges. And the reason we're doing that is about social distancing as well as for contact tracing. Even though the state of Ohio has listed some of the requirements, we thought this was a good process to put in place to allow us to track who's in the convention center each day. And so we are asking people to buy day badges. But you'll notice that we price it so it still matches what it'd be normally buy a full show badge, which was $85 in 2019. So the prices haven't changed. We're keeping it the same. But you have the option now of buying day badges, starting on Thursday for $10, and then $30 on Friday, $30 on Saturday, which are 2 heavy days, and then $15 on Sunday. Now, I will point out that we have made some changes in our child's badge. We've actually increased the age. Before it was 9 and under, we've increased it to 12 and under. As long as there's a company adult with them, you can bring your children under 12 free to the show. We want to make sure this is a family event, and that's affordable for families to come out and be part of this show. But you must have an adult badge in your cart to purchase the child's badge. So I didn't mention this, but I should. That badge sales open up on Saturday, June 26th at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And so you have these options to then go through and purchase at that time. And so when you buy the day badges, it allows you not only to attend that day, but also to register for in-person events and online events as well. You'll receive the coupon book when you get to Columbus. And then we're also doing something this year, because it is a hybrid show. We're doing a virtual swag bag. And the virtual swag bag, we're asking our publisher and our exhibitors to put items in this badge that you can download, whether it's print and play, or it's discount coupons. You can go to their website to buy stuff, or there's some special features just available only at that show. And so that's in early days for that. We were hoping to have a little later this summer, actually what's in that bag, so you'll know in advance. And again, you'll go get what you want, download. You don't have to take all of it, but take what you want that you think would be fun to play with or to have for the show. And so again, buying a day badge gets you access to the show for that day, but register for events for that day, as well as to access the items in the virtual swag bag and the exhibit hall and all things you would normally do when you're coming to Origins in person. It's also important to know that when we do open up events later this summer, that when you're registering for events, that you make sure that you are registering for events that correspond to the days you have badges. The badges will be color coded, so you'll know, like, and that this is not the colors are, but say on Friday, the color is ochre or whatever, or it could be brown or whatever. I don't know yet because we've not finalized that with our thing. But the reason we're doing that is so we can just look at the badge and say, okay, today's brown day, whoever's brown badge can get in the hall and get into the events and all. And so it's important that you correspond the days you're going to come with the days you're registering events. I know it sounds complicated, but it is pretty easy to do that. So again, as I mentioned earlier, the badges do happen on Saturday, the 26th of June, opening at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we'll have more information and the links for that as we get closer to that. We're actually just finalizing those details now with our technology partner who doing the badges for us. This is the same company we used last year when we were planning on doing the online show. And so some of these who did register for that event, hope you understand how easy that system is to use. It's actually definitely easier than the system we had before 2 years ago in 2019. So it is a brand new system from 2019. And then we move on to our online show. And you'll notice that there's several choices here as well. Starting at the online attendee, which is a flat fee to attend all 4 days of the show online and register for online events as well. It is the same system you use for online as well as for in-person. So that basically gets you in the system. And the reason we are charging for that is several reasons. One is that the company we're using does charge us for everybody who registers for the show, regardless of attending in person or attending online. And therefore, we had to put a minimum fee in for that to make that system work. The next level up is I should say, if you attend as virtual attendee, you do also get access to that virtual swag bag I mentioned a few minutes ago. The next level we have is the Friends of Origins. This is also for an online admission, and this is a little upgrade level from the Origins attendee, because this will include an exclusive collectible item which we will mail to you. So it's actually a physical item So you'll get the physical item, you'll get a couple extra things we're going to throw in there that are really cool, as well as access to the virtual swag bag. And then lastly, we have the VIOG, which is the virtual important online gamer. We are not doing a VIG for the in-person show, but we are doing one for the online show this year, and that is $65. Again, that is access to all 4 days of the online events. You'll get the exclusive items I mentioned earlier for Friends of Origins, plus you'll get an exclusive wearable item. We're still working that, whether it's a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, so we're not sure yet. We're still working the details out with our March partner. But you also have access to the virtual swag, and you'll have early event registration, which is kind of cool. Get the front of the line to register for events before everybody else does. And so that is $600 for that. We'll have more details on all these different things before we open badges on the 26th. Just a couple things to note. We do offer discounts because we are a gaming friendly group. And so we do offer a 30% discount if you are affiliated with the military, both active or veteran. We just had Memorial Day earlier this week, and we definitely want to salute our veterans and people who are active and serve the country. And again, that is not limited to just U.S. military service. We've had people in the past that asked from Canada. They also received the military discount as well. If you're part of a gaming club, you also can register for a group discount. And the way that usually works is you actually have to submit a list of members of your club, and we'll email out that code to members of that club so they can access the discounted badges for that. And then lastly, along that section, we have educator badges. If you are an active educator or work for a library or a librarian, you also can get a 30% discount. You have to fill out a form on our website for that discount code. In addition to those type of badges, we also have free badges that we give out to people who are volunteering, running games or events at the show, and are members of the Trade Association Gamma, who puts this event on, as well as members of the press and the game media. And there's details on our website. If you go to originsgamefair.com/get a badge, you can get all information about the various discount programs we have. You can also sign up for volunteering on our website, sign up for an event, being a GM or event submission. You can do it also on our website. That's a lot of covered really fast. But again, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat, or you can go visit our website and there's links on there to contact members of our staff who can answer those questions for you. Sure. So I'm listening to a question now. So be a second here. Go ahead. The question again, Adam. Sure. So the question is about volunteer badges registration. There is a page on our website for that. We actually are using a third-party software through the Columbus Convention Center, Experience Columbus, to do volunteer registration. We can actually go in and pick your shift. On that page, there's a list of how many hours you volunteer based on the perk you get. So I think, for example, if you volunteer 4 hours, you get a one-day badge. But if you're volunteering over multiple days, then you can get other perks like meal vouchers or even hotel accommodations being a super volunteer at the show. We have close to 200 volunteers at our show. We could not run if we didn't have volunteers. So thank you all for volunteering, and those who do want to do that. It's a great way to get involved in the show, learn more about how to run a major con like Origins, as well as to have an insider look about the cool things about the back end of running a show, as well as seeing behind the scenes, signing up for events, and having a nice, easy way to get to the show. Like in my own life, I volunteer at the Dublin Irish Festival here in Columbus. I've been doing it for 10 years now because I love the music and I love being involved in the community. But I'm actually finding out that I'm actually going more to volunteer and see my friends there than I'm actually going to the show anymore. So as you get versus the volunteering, you see it's very addictive. And so I encourage people to come and be volunteers for our show and be involved in your community of gaming here. Which reminds me, I wanted to point out that if you are in the Central Ohio area, this weekend, the Columbus Area Board Gaming Society is having they're kicking off events again by doing a game flea market on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I know we're going to put some links in the show chats for their Facebook group. So if you are local and you want to be involved with CABS, they provide a lot of volunteers for the show. And they're a great partner. They do some of the members are active with our Origins boardroom. And so they're good partners for us, and make sure to give them a shout out about their event this Saturday. I'm planning on going. I'm always looking for fun games to play with my family. So again, if you want to do that this Saturday, it's good. Another question here. Yes, thank you for that question. The question is, if you are going through the volunteering aspect to get your badges, do you need to register on the 26-hour badge? The answer is you do not need to register separate from badge. If you are a volunteer on our system and you do enough hours to qualify for a complimentary badge, we'll handle all that on the back end and give you your codes and all that sort of thing. That way you don't have to go through and buy the badge and get reimbursed. But if you do buy a badge and later want to volunteer to qualify for a badge, we will reimburse you for your cost of buying your badges. Just to let you know. But if you're more interested in volunteering, which again, we'd love to have you come out and volunteer for the show, you don't have to go through the registration on the 26th. You just have to go online to our website as a volunteer, which I'll taken care of. Did I answer the question that they had, Adam? So the question we're having is there a limit to the badge sales day by day? Originally, we were going to do that because of the COVID pandemic restriction from the state. They lifted that. And so we are not putting on a daily cap, as it were. But we're estimating attendance to be about 10 to 12,000 people is what we're guessing based on the feedback we've gotten. But we're not putting a day-by-day cap on. If you want to attend all 4 days, you can buy all 4-day badges. There shouldn't be a worry that I want to get badges, but I can't get them for Saturday. We shouldn't have a problem with that this year, we don't believe. Okay, so the question is, are we going to have boardroom ribbons this year? The answer is yes. We are going to have ribbons, but we're not going to prorate them because somebody asked is, if I can't come for the day, can I get a discount on buying a badge just for that one day I can use it? And the ribbons are $20 for the entire show. We've not changed the price in several years, but we don't know what days you're coming. So you can't, it's very difficult logistically for us to prorate that for say, okay, I'm only going to come Saturday, and then maybe on Thursday, can I get the rooms? So we're just going to say it's a flat rate of $20 to get the ribbon, to use it as much as you can. And so, yeah, make it simple. We're just going to have one rate. There is a limit on the number of badges that we sell every year. I don't know the actual number, but that is capped just because of the space that we have for the show. And all the ribbons are that way. And that'll be listed in the system when you go in to buy. You can see if the ribbons are available or not. Yes, the question is, can you sign up for the show to volunteer? And the answer is yes. I answered before I answered the question. I'm answering Adam, so I should get used to the rhythm of how this works. Usually you ask a question, the question is then answered. So yes, the answer is yes, you can volunteer on site if you like. But yeah, so let me actually put a pin in that, because the answer is I'm not sure, because I just remembered that we actually do background check our volunteers of the show for the safety of our attendees. So they do work with children because we have a lot of kids at the show. So I'm going to walk that answer back, and I need to double check that one. But by the time we have this next show in 2 weeks, we'll definitely have an answer on that question. I have to figure out how long it takes to do the background checks for that. So thank you for that question. We'll make sure we put a pin and answer again in 2 weeks. So thank you for that. Okay, cool. That's all the questions we have on badges so far. So I'm going to then move on now to hotel sales and hotel rooms. And so we do have another image that Adam has for the hotels that we have. We did open up the registration today for hotels. As is always the case, we asked the hotels not to make them open until 1 o'clock Eastern. A lot of people on the West Coast do it. But some hotels, if you call registration desks, they'll start taking reservations, which did happen again this year in some other hotels. Because of the date switch, we actually have less hotel rooms than we normally have for the show, which is usually okay because we're expecting less attendees. However, I know it's caused a crunch for a few people, especially who like to go to certain hotels. Case being the Hyatt. The Hyatt called me this morning and said, hey, we've already sold out for Wednesday and Thursday before we even opened it up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we did make a notation that there were rooms available Thursday through Sunday at the Hyatt. Likewise, we have rooms at other hotels which are on the list, which we've kind of held back for the volunteers, for the GMs, and from our sponsors and our exhibitors. Make sure they have rooms as well. It's very hard to be in the exhibit hall if you don't have a room. So we did hold some rooms aside for that. We also have 3 more hotels that we're talking to that are downtown that we should hopefully know by the end of this week if we're going to have blocks of there as well. So we might have the opening more rooms over the next few weeks. So the other thing I've noticed over the last few years, people actually reserve rooms and more rooms than they need because they don't know which friends are coming with them yet. And then they release the rooms as they get closer. So my advice is to constantly look back for the dates that you want to find the rooms. We do have 10 hotels under contract currently, several thousand room nights. It's a huge investment of Gamma and Origins to block those rooms as a service to our attendees, because we're legally responsible because we contracted those rooms, and if they don't sell, then we have to pay for them. So that's why we're kind of releasing the rooms as we are. Having said that, I've talked to a number of the hotels today. The pickup rates are going well. People are reserving the rooms. We're glad to see that. Here are the 8 hotels that are the price points. These are for the closer hotels. You'll notice that in the past we had rooms at Ohio State. We had rooms out at the airport. We didn't do those this year just because we weren't sure about attendance and about how far people wanted to go. So if you're looking for hotels on the list, my advice is call the hotel directly, see if you can get the rooms there, or keep looking back onto our list on our website about booking those rooms. As I mentioned, we have rooms that we may not use at a couple of hotels that we're currently using for volunteers and GMs. We will release those back to the attendee blocks if we don't use those. A lot of that depends on how people like sign up to run events, to volunteer, and all that sort of. As we get closer to the end of this month and looking at beginning of August, when we actually get those numbers firmed up, we'll let you know about those too. So a couple of questions that we did get about that. I'm looking to see as I don't see any questions about the room ticket. Do we have any questions there, Adam, about that? All right, cool. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I mean the room rates are pretty straightforward. It's ranging from $160 to $199 for the various hotels that we have, based on the amenities of the hotels. I will say this though: do not have any rooms blocked at the Hampton Inn, because there is another show going on in Kitchener who's blocked all the rooms there. And so that we will not be opening rooms at that hotel because they don't have any rooms. Same thing with the Residence Inn; they're also blocked out for that weekend too. There are a couple others which I've talked to who have limited rooms. I'll also say the Hyatt's undergoing construction this fall, and so they're basically closed off floors at a time, not limiting the number of rooms we can have there, which led to that compression of rooms as well. But again, we have a number of rooms. And so hopefully we'll be able to get rooms booked in. We start today on that. So the one question I did get is, and I see here is, why did we open up the hotel rooms before we do the badge sales? And I've been asked that sometimes online. I want to address that. Basically, we have found people who want to make sure they have a place to stay before they buy their badges, because I get my badges and then I don't have a place to stay, then I got to ask for a refund on my badges. We want to make sure this is a better experience for attendees. They know that they have their room secured, then they can go get their badges. Because that way they hopefully know who they're coming with and all that. So normally the gap isn't as large as it is this time, but because of the software we're working with, we had to delay the badge issue open until the 26th. But we're full steam ahead. I heard from our team earlier this week that we're on track for opening on the 26th. So there shouldn't be any problems with that when it happens on the 26th. So. A question just came in, said that about for GM badges, that if you buy a badge and then decide to submit for events, which opens on June 4th, you're accepted and you actually run events, can you get your badge reimbursed from being a GM? The answer is yes on that. The one case that we do not do reimbursements of is if you are getting discount badges like for military, educators, librarians. If you go ahead and buy your badge, or game clubs, and then come back and say, oh, I'm part of this game club, get my 30% discount. We can't go back and do it in that system because we have to do the codes up front to make the system work, unfortunately. So if you are part of those groups, please wait until you get your code before you purchase your badges. So the other question is, are we going to run out of badges on June 26th? We don't believe so. In that, as I mentioned, we're not putting caps on the days. We normally have, at 2018, we had over 20,000 attendees to the show. For the full show. We don't believe that we're going to run out of badges for the show. I mean, we have it's interesting. We have plenty to grow at the convention center, and so we are not at capacity, anywhere near capacity for the space that we have. We have over 300,000 square feet of event space in the 3 main halls that we're using, and so we have plenty of room, and we do not believe that we're going to sell out on the 26th. So I don't have any other questions coming in. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. As a reminder, if you do want to sign up to get our updates, we do a newsletter going out to attendees. You can go on to the Origins gamefear.com website and sign up for that. If you want to be a volunteer or for a GM, you can also set the website. We do this program every other week between now and September 30th when the show kicks off at noon on that Thursday. And so we encourage you to come back every other Tuesday night to be with us, to ask questions and learn more about the programs. We're very excited to be offering the show this year. And looks like questions coming in. You got a question, Adam? Is there a theme for this year? We do not have a theme for this year. Well, actually, we had the same theme we had last year, which 2020 originally was going to be we did a rebranding of Origin. So we're doing your origin story. And so we're actually talking to our volunteers who are running our merch store about doing some themed Origin themes merch. The authors are working on the Origins anthology, which is also an origin story theme. And so we're going back to our roots in that, what is your origin of gaming? And that's the theme for the show for this year. Great question. Thank you for asking that, Adam. Or whoever asked it on the Twitch stream. So someone's making a comment about about Mayor of Canada and the provinces there. Right. So I wanted to Whedon's Law. Awesome. Yeah. So anyways, thank you all for being part of the program this evening. We do appreciate your tuning in. This will be available for replay on our YouTube channel in two or 3 days. So if you're not watching it live, you can join us in 2 weeks when we have the next one. And basically, we're going to be rotating staff out. So it won't be, my mug here talking to you in 2 weeks. It'll be a different person on our staff. So we thought it's important to get a chance to see the faces of the people behind who's putting the show on. This is my turn in the barrel, I guess. So I hope you all have a great evening, and thank you for joining us. Take care now.